Hey guys, it's Tanner with Bricks Minifigs Sioux Falls. Today I'm going to be showing you guys set 76261 SpiderMan Final Battle. This set comes with 900 pieces and will retail for $110. Set is going to be released August 1st of this year, 2023. So I decided, you know what, after the last video, big Spider-Man fan, this was kind of one that was already on my radar, so I figured I'd go ahead and give you guys a solid review on it and kind of tell you my thoughts about it. So without further ado, we'll crack the box open and get it built and show it to you. Okay, so sitting at about 2.5 hour mark, that was my time to build it. I watched the final battle a handful of times on YouTube. I watched the behind the scenes footage for the first time where Toby and Andrew get to talk about what it was like coming back. And it was just a lot of fun to build. It was a really cool time. I remember first seeing the movie and how excited I was for Toby to come back. So this was a really special set, and I think it is going to be for a very long time. The build itself was just incredible. It doesn't have the size or quite the scope of what the actual set piece was for the movie and how they filmed it, but I think for what it is, it does a really good job of Legoifying it in a sense of words. They were able to take that, scale it down, punch in all these figs, all of this detail, and give it at as a product at $110. I think it was a really good, really awesome, and it paid off. But yeah, we'll go over the figs now. We'll dive into the set, how we do. But let's go ahead and jump in. So here they all are. Starting with the Spider-Man, we've got Tom Holland, we've got Tobey Maguire, and we've got Andrew Garfield's interpretations of Spider-Man. Tom's, nothing new here. If you guys have any of the older sets, some of the No Way Home, Far From Home, and Homecoming inspired sets, then you probably might have already gotten one of him. So nothing new on his front. Tobey's amazing, absolutely incredible. The line work on the silver webbing, the line work and the actual design of the spider logos on the front and the back of the torso look incredible, and I love the eyes on the fig. They did exactly how I wanted them to do it, and they couldn't have done it any better. It's my favorite fig in the set by far. And then moving on to Andrew has done really well too. I love the long logo on the front and the back for him. The really long spider that takes up a lot of the torso space itself just looks awesome. They all three get dual molded legs that look incredible. They all get a secondary head with hair to display what they were when they were maskless talking on the scaffolding. The only thing I'm not too sold on is the head choice that they went for Tobey Maguire's fig. I don't know, it just doesn't really feel like Tobey Maguire to me. It doesn't have just doesn't really have the face for it. I think it's missing like the sunken kind of eyes and the chin dimple. I don't know, it didn't really sell me on it, but honestly at the end of the day I'm just really happy to have an additional head for all of them, and I think that Lego did a really good job with their suited variants. At the least they look incredible. So moving on to the next three, we've got Doctor Strange, MJ or Michelle Jones, and Ned Leeds. They also look really good. I love them. Doctor Strange, if you've got the poly bag, you're not going to be missing out on this one. It's the exact same fig. A great fig though. I love it. It's just awesome. I love the detail and how the torso runs into the legs. It looks really, really well done. MJ's pretty basic. She gets the same head that we've gotten before and the same hair, just a new torso. I don't know any other figs that have had that torso, but if you do, leave them in the comments. But as far as I know, that's the first time we've had the torso. And then moving on to Ned, I love the head that they chose. I think it looks like Jacob Batalon a lot. I love the hair that they used. I'm just not too sold on the color of the Letterman. I think it should have been like that blue or navy blue type color. The yellow's fine. I think the yellow works. It's probably closer to what he was wearing in the movie versus like flame yellow if they were to go with a different yellow. But I think yellow was a good call for the arms. I just think that they should have maybe done like a blue Letterman instead. But other than that, I think that these 3 figs turned out really well. And then lastly, we've got the villains. So to start with the big bads, we've got Green Goblin. He looks awesome. I do hear people on the side of the opinion on that he needed leg printing. I get it. I totally understand. I think he probably should have. But to have like 9 figs in total, I think it was an okay call to forego that if, you know, it saved on the production expenses. But I'm still team leg printing. He definitely should have, and I don't think enough Marvel figs get it. Moving on to the Electro fig, Jamie Foxx. I think it looks really good. It's a really nice reuse of the current city legs for like construction workers and like safari wildlife, you know, explorers and preservationists. But I think the fig looks really cool. And I love the really cool electric, you know, piece that they give him for his back. I think it looks really cool. It gives him a lot more like height and verticality. I think it makes him look really menacing, especially with the printing of the star on his face. I think it looks really, really good. And lastly, we've got Doc Ock. I think he looks absolutely incredible. I love the fact that they used the same type of like ratcheting hinge pieces for his arms that they used for back in the day. I think it just looks really cool, and it's almost like a nice little homage to like what he used to look like. I think the only thing that is a hindrance to me is I'm not too big of a fan of the hair piece. I'm gonna have to dabble around with it. I think if trying Ned's hair in like reddish brown or dark brown on him would have looked better. And I also kind of wish that his trench coat would have been like either dark green or like olive green. I don't think it should have been gray, but that's just my opinion. You know, that's just kind of how I remember him looking. But all in all, I think that they did an absolutely knockout, terrific job with all of the figs. Even if, you know, they're as detailed as, you know, the SpiderMan, or if they're not as detailed like MJ and Ned, I still think that they all did really good because they all serve such an important part in the scene to really sell it as like the whole of both, you know, all 3 of these Spider-Man's worlds colliding. I think it's really important that all of these people got representation, and I'm just really happy that we finally got this set. It's here now, so let's move on to the actual thing itself. So now on to the actual set itself. Like I said, clocking in around 2.5 hours, watched a lot of the, you know, the behind the scenes stuff, had some fun with it, really took my time. You start with the base first, and that's comprised of 4 large, like the semicircle, the quarter like dome slope brick part. Really interesting, and it looks really clean. It makes it look a little bit more, you know, luxurious. It makes it look a little bit more intricate, like an actual display piece versus just a play set. But I think that's kind of where it walks both lines. You build up that actual base first, and as you move up, you add a bunch of sand elements all around on the inside. And then it takes you into the next part, which is actually building the head of Lady Liberty, which is in a really nice, they use medium nougat, but it's in a almost really nice like copper looking color, very similar to what it actually looked like when it originated before it oxidized. You get this really nice medium nougat that's used all the way through for the entirety of everything that the builder or the outside person is able to see from, you know, just actually visually looking at it from a 360 perspective. You're building in every single direction when putting this head together. You're going to be building on the side, you're going to be building upside down, you're going to be building at weird inclinations. You're really going to be building in a lot of different ways, and a lot of sub-assemblies are what actually comprise and connect all together to get this head shape, which is very well done. It's very similar, like I said, to Apocalypseburg, but I think they did a really, really good job, and it's really well done. Moving on to the inside of the head. So once you remove this top section to get into the inside of the head, you're met with a really cool, very simple brick-built hand in tan, which is supposed to represent the Sandman's hand grabbing Tobey Maguire's Peter in the final act of the movie. And it's also comprised of a couple of other sand and tan colored tiles to represent sand, and that goes all the way, like I said, through and all the way down throughout the entire base of the build, just to make it look like it's a work in progress. It's something that's being worked on. Once you move into the back here, and I'll go ahead and spin this around for you. Moving on into the back, you pop that guy down, and then you're met with the inside of a portal, which is presumably where strangers come from, and it's the sanctum. It's actually like the newer UCS modular sanctum, which I think is really cool. I love it when sets have this ability to call back or be incorporating other sets. It just makes it kind of all feel like it is one universe, which it is, and it should be. So I think that was a really good call, especially on the graphic designer. I think he did a really good job of like the angle and the scale of the sanctum and just how it really all came together. But I love that little bit down there. And then coming back up around the front, and just kind of to go over it all, right around the head is where you start to build the scaffolding. Now, I am going to be 100% honest, this part was not the most fun to put together. As many of you may know, when you buy a new Lego set, elements are fresh, and very few times have they ever been connected to another part. So when you're connecting a bunch of these bar elements into these like the elongated lightsaber hilts, into the 6L bars and the 2L bars with stoppers in the center and all these different bars and everything, they are very tight and they begin to make your fingers sore, and it will happen, I guarantee it. You do that for not just 1, 2, 3, but 4 scaffoldings all the way around the head, and that's what makes like the action sequences for the majority of the film and for the set's sake too. You're going to be seeing lots and lots of different ways to be able to display your figs, to get them into fight positions, to create your own stories, and to display how you may think that the final battle went in your own head or how it exactly went in the movie. It's really up to you and how you decide you want to go and interpret that. But I think for what this set is and how they were able to get it to this size, I think they did a really good job incorporating the most important parts of the set into this package to give you the ability to recreate that final battle. We will go ahead and move on to the closing thoughts. I loved this set. It was everything that I was hoping it would be. It took a long time to get here. Debatably too long. It took, I think it's been like 2 years now, it was one of those sets that I was really hoping that we would be able to get, closer to the release of the movie, especially for how important that movie was when it came out. That like post Endgame, that was one of, if not the most hyped up Marvel Cinematic Universe movies that has been out yet. Everybody was waiting for this movie. At the rumors of Tobey and Andrew coming back, this thing was like a smashing success. And it's just a shame that it took so long to finally get this. I'm happy to finally get it though. I want to make that as absolutely abundantly clear as possible. But it does suck that it took so long. I really, really, really hope we get to see more of this because, I don't know, I just don't really want to see these figs go out on this one set. I would really love to see some lower price point sets that are maybe based a little bit more around playability. Maybe take some of these figs and some of these ideas and bring out some older sets. What if we got Amazing Spider-Man 2 sets today? What if we got Spider-Man 3 sets today or Spider-Man 2 sets? The first Amazing Spider-Man movie. That'd be a little bit harder. You'd have to make a brand new fig, but the idea is what I'm talking about. There is a lot going on here to just let a lot of these figs kind of go, into their grave this early. I would really love to see some more. But that's just kind of what I want. I'd love to hear what you guys want. What do you guys think? Is this going to be a day one set for you? Are you going to be picking it up August 1st? Is it one you're going to wait for it to go on sale? Me? I will absolutely be getting this August 1st. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. If you guys watched the last video, you know that by now. But I'm really excited. I would love to hear what you guys think in the comments. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Take care.